Hey everybody, it's Desiree and welcome to Road to Par the podcast. Here we'll be helping you enhance your golf experiences through a little education, a little entertainment, and events and travel. So stay tuned. We have some live interviews that'll be coming up and just talking more in depth about the golf community and where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. So stay tuned for your Road to Par.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Road to Par. It's your girl Desiree, and I'm so excited. We have a special guest tonight. It's going to be Jack Stanton, and he's actually coming to us from Plantation Golf and Country Club. I'm sorry, Plantation Lakes Golf and Country Club. And we had a wonderful occasion to meet him during a recent Delmarva trip. And so we thought his story was so amazing. We wanted to make sure we shared it with everyone on their Road to Par. So welcome, Jack. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. And I know that you have a pretty amazing story. And I wanted
Yeah,
to, we could take a few minutes to tell our viewers a little bit about yourself.
yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Jack Stanton. I am currently attending University of Maryland Eastern Shore in their PGA program. And basically, how I got there, I graduated high school in 2012 and wound up going to a school down in Virginia for their golf program. 2 weeks before I got there, they cut the program. So I actually wound up playing baseball for 3 years in college, that I had done, my whole life. And I got a bachelor's degree in art. And then I was building a financial business at the same time. Me and my wife, we met at school. We now have two beautiful kids. One's going to be turning 4, another one's going to be turning 2. So it's all sorts of hectic around here, but so we wanted to kind of start over with our business. We were in kind of a more depressed economy of an area, so we wanted to start over with our business. We moved out to California with my in-laws, and it kind of plummeted from there, where it took me a month and a half to just get a job, and the only one that I could get was actually a maintenance crew on a golf course. So it wound up working out to my benefit, in the fact that I love golf, been playing it my whole life, and this gave me an opportunity to kind of get back into it, find that love for the game again. And so I got to play golf about every day, for free, working on the maintenance crew. Gave me a much different perspective of the world of golf, not just the playing part of it, or the shot part, but really what it takes to make a great course. Because I think that's something that's overlooked by a lot of people that play the game, that they may admire, like, oh, that looks nice, it looks nice, but don't know what it takes to really make something stay that nice. And so after giving it a lot of thought, we were like, you know what, let's jump back into school. I was going to go get my PGA qualifications, and we went through a few of the schools in the program and wound up choosing UMES. So we made the trip back out east, after a year, and here we are, two kids going to school, working all day, all night, and
Sounds like
that.
the American dream right there.
Yeah, yeah, and the funny thing is that I had decided this in what would have been the end of the school year for UMES in the spring. I decided I was going to go do this program and go through with it. And I talked to the coordinators, and they said, hey, look, you need a 12 handicap to be in the program, a minimum. And at the time, I was a 15. So I was like, oh, okay, I got 3 months to get up three strokes on my handicap. And I was like, man, I don't know if that's going to be, if this timeline, I don't know how well I can do in that short period of time. But within 2 weeks, I was under a 12.
That's
I had,
dedication right there, isn't
oh
it?
yeah, oh
Wow.
yeah. And so then I was like, you know what? What I also found out from that was the minimum qualification for some of the other schools in the program is an 8 handicap. So I was like, you know what? I want to try and qualify. If I want to go anywhere I want to be able to do that. I wound up before school. I think it was like 2 weeks before we were going to be heading out. I got my handicap to an 8, and then right before I made the trip out, I was a 7.5. So
You were really
I
grinding,
made.
huh?
Oh yeah, I've been going hard, and it's funny, this game of golf, that you put in all the work, you don't see any kind of progression, and then you wake up one day, you go out and play, and then all of a sudden you're shooting five,
It's
six strokes
clicking.
better.
It's clicking.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, it's
dialed
just
in.
yeah, it's like out of nowhere, it just flips a switch that all the training that you've been doing, all the work that you put in, finally comes through,
Well, Jack,
and
that's an amazing story. I mean,
yeah,
that
yeah,
is definitely, a huge part of Road to Par, and what we try to do here is, we could watch players on tour day and day, but honestly, much of the industry is players like yourself, right?
yeah,
I wanted in, you know what I'm saying? And you put
hmm,
the work in and you've done all that you can. At some point, it will start to click, right?
yeah.
And there you go. But we want to say we're very excited for you over here
Oh,
at Road to Par,
thank
and
you.
it was really cool to meet you in the clubhouse when we just happened to pop in. And as
Yeah,
everyone knows in golf, you start talking and you're like, well, where are you
yep,
from and what's going on? But I know that you also talked about a love of architecture.
yeah,
Tell us a
yeah.
little bit about that.
Yeah, so it kind of formulated. It didn't actually formulate until I got here. Um, until I really dove deep into the program. Back in California, I had an idea of, like, if I was to build my dream course, what would it look like? And I remember seeing a picture of another course where this guy had an approach shot into a green with all these rocks and waterfalls, like right in front of the green. It's very beautiful course, very picturesque hole, or that picture. And I was like, you know what? What if you had a tee box and there was a waterfall on the tee box? Like, you had to hit almost directly right of a waterfall just to get onto the fairway, a narrow fairway with a beach sand waste bunker, and then an island green. And then that's pretty much what this is right here. This is the first public
Wow.
viewing of this course. This is my very first course that I designed, and it actually has that hole in it as my
And which course is that?
signature hole. I call it the Lion's Den. I
Okay.
haven't It hasn't come to fruition yet, but I'm looking for, I'm always looking for investors, any possibility of someone to help me with the process.
That's
It's
amazing. That's
yeah.
absolutely
So
amazing. And so part of that is you are also a student, as you mentioned, now
yeah.
at UMES,
Hmm.
and you are part of the PGM program. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
And so, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that amongst being a player in the game and a professional in teaching, there are so many other avenues to
Oh yeah.
include golf architecture.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So are
Absolutely.
you, how do you put that together when you're in school? And maybe you can give some tidbits to people who are thinking about the same trajectory that you're on in terms of golf architecture in the PGM program. How does that work?
Yeah. Great question. So, in the very first class that I took, it was Intro to PGM, your PGA Golf Management, and we go through the career ladders and lattices of golf, right? So golf is essentially different in the fact that it's a golf lattice. It's not a golf ladder, or it's not a career ladder, right? So you're not just getting promoted. You could be a head pro at one place and then still go make more money as an assistant somewhere else, depending on how popular that course is, how high end it is. So, that they'll do that transition from being a head pro to an assistant pro, a first assistant, which is obviously a demotion, but you're getting a higher pay grade. Most people find that very worthwhile. Um, and that's kind of how things go. And so what we had to do is we had to come up with a PowerPoint presentation about where we want to be. And my cohort is me and two other people. So we have a very small cohort, and the other two wanted to be touring professionals or head pros, at the worst a head pro. So we had to come up with what are the steps to get to head pro, what are the qualifications that you need, what are the hours that you'll be looking at, the salaries for the average annual salary of a head pro, and things like that. And then so mine was very unique in the fact that nobody else in the program has decided that they wanted to do golf course architecture, since there's not really a specific class for golf course design. Now there's a turf grass class, so you can learn the different types of grass and what one does and what another one does, which is a really good experience in California, where I'm coming from Kikuyu fairways to now bent grass and Bermuda on the East Coast. And my superintendent, Peter, was really an awesome guy when it came to, he I guess he saw the passion that I had for the game. And so he would pull me aside frequently to tell me, this is why we put this kind of chemical on the greens to help this, to help that. And he would point out like where fungus rings are and what that will do to a course, or or what poana grass does, or I think that's how you pronounce it, right?
But let me ask you this. So
yeah.
when you're studying and learning in the PGM program,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, you touch on the agronomy component.
Yeah.
Do you study how other golf architects have got into basically the business of being an architect of a golf course? Do they start off as general architects and then go into golf, or are they golfers who eventually go into the agronomy, who eventually go into the structure of the course? How does that work? If so, there's no curriculum specifically for golf architecture.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What does one do, like yourself, to get involved? How does that happen?
So for me specifically, through this program, I have the opportunity for internships. And that's a big component of why this program is a 5-year program instead of a normal 4-year program. Is you have 2 7-month internships that you have to do with a 3-month internship. So the way that I've kind of mapped my internship around is that I'm working at Plantation Lakes right now, and I'm hoping to develop my connection enough to actually go and intern at Arthur Hill's office. He has like 3 different offices in the DMV area.
And for our listeners who don't know who Arthur Hills is, can you kind of give us a little brief background on that?
Yeah, he's golf course architecture, or architect. He's pretty well known, at least on the eastern shore area and East Coast. He's very well known for big bunkers, a lot of bunkers, where you kind of have to really pinpoint your tee shots. And he loves water, so he likes long walks on the beach. That's for sure. He likes to be near the he likes to be near the water, and most people have found that he actually is more along the lines of having rather long distances between greens and tees. As far as his kind of background, I'm not 100%. I haven't done that much of research on him, but I do know that he designed Plantation Lakes. He was a big aid in finishing that course. We were 6 holes for a long time due to 08 in the housing and everything when all that crashed.
We remember that. Well, I'll tell you that. And getting out there and playing Plantation Lakes, not too often does a golfer have an opportunity to play a brand new 9. And I'll tell you, it was pretty exciting, right? So you're like, this is brand new. Yep. The fairways and the bunkers. And from your point, I saw the water component early on. I think it was even hole number 2 and 3, if I recall, that it's separated basically by like a little strip of water. And I want to say a majority of the holes thereafter had some level of a good little, either a little lake or something, or some visual. And it really was a very beautiful course. I mean, your superintendent and then you all out there do an amazing job. And so it seems like a pretty great and fun facility for you to learn and see as much as you can, because golf on the water is a tricky thing, not just for the golfers, but for the superintendents, because you have to make sure drainage as well and everything like that. So definitely kudos to you all out there for that.
Thank you. Yeah, Nick's our superintendent. He has done an absolutely phenomenal job. I get the chance to speak with him quite frequently when I'm either rangering or picking up from tournament leftovers and stuff like that, cleaning up. I remember I spoke to him. We just had the O'Halloran tournament to honor Chris O'Halloran, who was a very revered member of the club and had passed away. And so we were holding a tournament in his honor. And when I was doing the cleanup, I got to speak with Nick, and it was like 100 degrees. It's just beating down on us. And we were also expected to get some big thunderstorms. And it was pretty cool, the fact that he was so in tune with the things that were going around, or going around him, that he can plan how to take care of the course in the best way, where, he didn't overdo the sprinklers. He waited to do the sprinklers for a very 5-minute period, it was very short, and he waited to the end of the day to do that because he's expecting thunderstorms in the evening to get that extra water in. And the fact that our course drains immensely well. I mean, we had a tropical storm pass through, and it was finished at 11:30, and we had play at 12.
Wow.
That's how. Yeah, I mean,
really?
we had it had to have been 2 inches or more of rain, and within 30 minutes we were having play without cart path only. We were scattered.
And that's impressive. That is seriously impressive.
Yeah.
Because you all are actually in, is it considered Delaware, that area, or Maryland?
Yeah, it's Delaware.
And so for folks who haven't seen it already, I did a course review kind of sort of flashback on my YouTube page. And I was there, Baywood Greens, and I did links at Lighthouse. And if you know the area is predominantly water. I mean, you're right there on the shoreline. And so one would imagine that drainage could be an issue. But at the same time, the architects of the course and the superintendents have found a way to give you the best drainage possible.
Absolutely.
And in the Mid-Atlantic, we don't have too many play days, do we? So when we have them, I mean, it's great that they have found a way that everyone could take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So how much longer do you have in the program? And then where would you like to go thereafter?
Yeah, I've been working with my advisor, and we will be done spring of 2022. If I can that's if I can accelerate through the program, meaning that I can stay on at Plantation Lakes through the school year. More or less, my plan of attack is that I'm going to stay on until the summer of 21 at Plantation. And during that summer, I'm hoping to get an internship at one of Arthur Hills's places, or another architecture company that's on the Eastern Shore here. There was one, Ian Scott was a architect that had designed his own course, a full course, here on the Eastern Shore, but it wound up being closed down for being too difficult. So I'm very.
The course closed for being too difficult?
Yeah, it was too difficult for the area, so they never got enough business to circulate.
I would have loved to see that course.
I know, so do I, and I can't even, I'm not doing it justice because I can't even remember the name of the
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
But yeah, my advisor, he knew all about it, and it was pretty interesting. We were trying to get a internship set up with him. He's up in Easton, Maryland, and so it's not too far away from me. It's only maybe an hour drive, so it definitely would be worth it for the summer to be involved with that. And the thing is that architecture, golf course architecture nowadays is really being confined to touching up existing courses, or like PLantation went through a very lengthy process of redesigning bunkers and placing new ones in and taking old ones out. And so the process of doing that, that's where they bring in the architects mostly nowadays, is when a course wants to kind of reshape itself, or they want to add a little bit more challenge. It's a little too easy or it's too difficult. Let's take out a couple bunkers, something like that. And so that's kind of been the direction that golf course architecture is going. But I want to blow the roof on it. I don't want to sit around and just redesign someone else's dream. I want to build my dream. I have a dozen other courses that I've designed, and that's a couple pages that I had up here on the wall. We're just kind of like redesigning right now, so my wife took them down for a second. But
I mean, that's impressive though, right? Like, so
yeah.
you have an amazing and bright future ahead, because I will tell you, on this road to par, I meet a lot of different people, and I will tell you, architecture and agronomy is something that is not often talked about, right? So part of the problem I know that has been over the years is that golf has seen a shrinkage previously, right? Historically, we've been in this shrink period because we had a boom, right? So when Tiger Woods came out, the courses got longer. They grew. I mean, because people wanted to go play golf, right? It was exciting and new. And so I feel like we're kind of on the horizon. Unfortunately, due to COVID, things have changed quite a bit. Hence we're doing these interviews via Zoom. But it's a thing where it's an opportunity to help older courses restructure, right? And I think even, matter of fact, currently Congressional Country Club has renovated their blue course. I had the amazing opportunity to work there some years ago and to be able to play the blue and the gold. And not too often do those courses actually go through a restructure per se. And so people like yourself who are coming in with these amazing and fresh new ideas, you're very much needed in the industry, because we may not have a bunch of new courses open, but we could say, this course is too hard or too easy. Let's bring some fresh eyes in and recreate the whole thing. And so, Jack, you are definitely a diamond out here, because you're the people that keep the course going, right? Keep the energy of it. And while there are existing courses, you have courses like Plantation Lakes who are adding new nines and who are still developing. And so I think there's still a lot of room where our communities, especially for places that are building more homes, the big draw is, does it have a golf course?
And I mean, even Baywood, they're working on that second nine, or the new nine that they're adding to their resort. It's very great stuff, and we got to see it. I mean, I've seen it for the past year that I've been here. That when I drive a little bit further down from work, and I see Baywood, and I see the course across the street, and I'm just like, man, it just looks. For me, when I know a course is good, is when it's at an elite level, is where it literally looks like the ground is wearing a green blanket, where it looks so soft and it looks so pristine.
I just want to walk out there. Like, I just want to take my shoes off and go walk on the green, right?
I want to just go hug the grass.
Exactly. And it's so funny, because when I played Baywood, I looked across the street and I was like, oh, that's going to be absolutely gorgeous when they open. I
Yeah.
mean, and you're luckily already in that area, so you'll have to
Yeah.
tell me about it and let me know when it opens up, right?
Yeah, I mean, if it opens up by the time I'm still here, because continue with your previous question, what we kind of want to do is when the summer internship is done at an golf architecture place, is that we want to move down to North Carolina, down by Sunset Beach, which is kind of like considered North Myrtle Beach. It's right on that border. And my goal is to. There's a few courses I have laid out that I'm going to go visit in about two weeks now. I'm going to go down there and visit them.
Let me
Lockwood
know when you
Folly,
go. Let me know
huh?
when you go. I lived in Myrtle Beach and went to the Golf Academy of America. I don't know if I told you that.
Okay,
Yep,
okay,
and so a lot of great folks that are still down there, definitely can connect you with. And
nice.
I'll tell you that area is just a gold mine.
Oh yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
courses are amazing. The people are so nice. I
Mhm.
just have nothing but great things to say and feel about that area. So
Yeah,
you'll
My
have a great
mom's
time down
family.
there.
Yeah, we go there every year. It's kind of
Nice.
been my family vacation for the past 20 years.
Okay.
And my mom's side of the family is all from Bath, North Carolina, with
Uh-huh.
I guess a little Washington now. Um, so we've been going there for 20 years, and I was still blown away by how I did like a little Google search, because somebody was telling me, hey, do you ever go on Google Maps and find a piece of land and then design a course around that? Like, is that how you do it, or do you just do whatever? I'm like, really, I kind of just do whatever. I see a course that I see how I want holes to look, and I just draw it on the paper. And so then when someone told me that, I was like, that's actually not a bad idea. And so I started doing that. I wanted to see what was there down in Sunset Beach area. And there's a little piece of land that I've been kind of molding. And but when I did that, I saw over a dozen courses I've never heard of that were within 5 miles of where I've been going on vacation for 20 years.
That sounds about right down there. You got a lot of hidden gems,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
each one of them offers such a rich landscape, right?
Yeah.
So that's the great thing. When you go down south, it's a little bit different in terms of opportunities when it comes to golf and
Yeah.
land.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for you. I think that's going to be an amazing opportunity when you get down there full time.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's really going to work out well. I have like 3 or 4 courses that I've really been looking into, and the one that I was originally supposed to have my internship at this year, which you know it's kind of a blessing that COVID happened, in a sense that I wasn't there because of the hurricane that just hit through there. Was Lockwood Folly, and it was is in Holden Beach, so just up the street. And where I've been going to vacation on 20 years was Ocean Isle Beach. Well, the hurricane hit land on Ocean Isle,
Wow.
and
How,
so
how much damage did it incur? Do you know?
it did quite a bit.
Wow.
I think one person lost their life, and it was just it
Sorry
had
to hear that.
gotten
Yeah.
hit pretty hard. And it was funny actually that the year that we moved out to California, we went basically from our vacation straight to California. And a day after we left, a hurricane hit Ocean Isle that year too. And it blew away the pier, and it just like totally had to reconstruct everything. And now another hurricane came in, hit the same spot. So
Wow.
it's a rebuilding process down there. And uh fortunately, I've been in touch with the head pro over at Lockwood Folly. um and he seems to that everything is in good shape there. So hopefully they didn't get hit too hard. They had just remodeled their clubhouse, so it's in excellent shape. To be honest, it's a really good golf course for any of your listeners or anybody that wants a good golf vacation down there. Lockwood Folly is definitely a place to go.
I'll
another
have to add
course.
the link in the
Yeah,
comment section. I'm sure
yeah,
they'll appreciate it, and I'll have to check it out. I
yeah,
haven't been back down south in a little while just because of everything that's been going on with COVID.
yeah.
So speaking of COVID, are you guys going back to school this semester, or are you online only?
Yeah, for right now we are actually in class,
Oh wow, okay.
but we're probably only going to be in class for about a month, and then we're probably going to be switching back to online. That's what I've been hearing,
Yeah,
all the hearsay.
yeah,
But but yeah, I was pretty surprised to see that we were actually going to be in class, especially the way that Maryland has kind of handled COVID, especially on the Eastern Shore. I think they've done a better job on the other side of the bay. But I think when Ocean City was opened up with, basically you don't have to wear a mask or anything, it wound up, I think, causing a lot more problems than it solved, because then you had a bunch of eager college age kids or middle aged guys that just want to go out and go to the beach that they've been missing it the whole summer. And then you say that you don't have to wear a mask on the beach, or near other people on the boardwalk, all this other stuff. It's just nobody's going to do it. So it's one of those things that I think, at least on the Eastern Shore, Maryland has done. They did a really good job at the beginning. There was like no cases on the Eastern Shore for a long time, for several months.
we have to keep holding the line, hold the
Yeah.
line, and be a little patient.
Yeah, and then
Wow.
and then I guess one got through, and it spread like
Yeah,
wildfire. So
yeah,
luckily Princess Anne, where I'm living, has not been hit
good,
next to
good,
anything around here.
good.
There have been a few cases, but fortunately, me, my wife, and my family, we've been pretty good. We've been keeping safe, making sure that we're following the protocols and all that. And that's another thing I have to say about Plantation Lakes, is that they were ahead of the curve. They that's why we've been able to put zero halt to business during this entire period. Was they were already, when there was of cases being confirmed, they went ahead and started sanitizing carts. They made sure that until there was a notice that they could no longer use uh, shared carts and things like that, that they were on top of it. And that's kind of what has really catapulted, I think, our course above all others. And I mean, COVID's actually done amazing work for the world of golf.
Absolutely, that's an understatement.
Yeah, I know. Nobody has anything else to do but golf. It's the perfect
Listen,
social
it's the
distancing.
safest sport to play today. It is the most accessible sport to play. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
definitely golf has come back, and I know I've talked to a lot of professionals, even
yeah,
some superintendents. The play that we're seeing today would be 2 to 3 times what we have seen over the years in a year, right?
yeah.
And so
This, yeah,
it's and a lot of the courses, like you said, Plantation Lakes, you guys are very safe. I didn't feel like I wasn't protected when I went. The staff, everyone had protective gear on, and it really was an environment where I felt like it was very comfortable to
yeah,
walk in, take care of the initial business for my tea time, and then leave out. And so I just want to applaud you all for that, because a lot of golfers, we want to feel safe, right? And
yeah, yeah.
so you all have done an amazing job, and I know that as you go back to school in the fall, I know you'll be very conscious of this, with your family and everything. And so I
Mhm.
wish you all the best and well, so you guys don't
Thank
have
you.
to deal with it. And I think as a community in golf, this is, not the blessing in disguise, but we are making the best of a situation to help others,
Yeah,
and have some exercise. And like I said, you all are doing a phenomenal job in keeping the courses moving and the people secure and safe. So thank you so much for that.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for the compliment.
Well, Jack, I just have to tell you, I appreciate you coming on, because when I met you in the pro shop, it was like We could have sat there and kept talking for at least another hour, right?
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
a tea time. Let me get up out of here.
yeah.
And that's the great part that I wanted to bring to Road to Par. The podcast was this amazing spirit I met behind the counter. And, this is the golf world. Part of the Road
Yeah.
to Par are the great people you meet who are in amazing journeys on their road to par, whatever that par may be.
Yeah.
And so I sincerely appreciate you sharing your story with us. And we want to know more. So please check back with us.
Yeah.
Graduations and on to architecture firms, and when your own course opens up, Road to Par will be there.
Yeah,
Let me
that's
know, and we're gonna have press all over it.
yeah, I told you, as soon as I get any one of these up and running, you'll be my first call. So I really do appreciate you extending the invitation. This is actually my first ever podcast, so it's something exciting to be a part of. But yeah, I've been very excited about a lot of the things that are coming in the future, and I think these courses are going to be that shock and awe factor for everybody in the area wherever they. I do have to find the right areas for it. I kind of want to look into Colorado, mountainy area for this one here for sure. But I am looking international. I'm looking a lot of different places where I could put a foothold down and really just develop and grow this wonderful game. Um, and I've been actually coming up with a lot of business plans. That's another thing about the architecture side of it is you also have to look at who is your target market and what is your goal with this course. Is it just to have a small um, is it just to have a small membership where they're going to be committed, they're going to throw in $10,000 annual memberships or $100,000 memberships, whatever it may be? Or are you going to be trying to cater to bringing up the next generation of golf? And that's kind of one of the things that I want to do is, cater to the new generation and promote the next Tiger Woods. I want to get the youth more involved in the sport because I feel like, I got into the sport young age, about 6 years old, but and it was a great experience for me, but I didn't ever play it competitively or enough because it's one of those sports where it is expensive. And if we can make it more accessible to junior leagues and things like that and make it more on the pocket friendly side for those juniors, I think it will definitely benefit uh, the growth of the game. And I think the PGA has done a great job so far as their junior programs and getting the youth involved and trying to reach out to different areas and things like that. So it's definitely something I want to be a part of.
Great
Yeah.
point. I mean, that's what we're doing here, right? Like we're
Yeah.
creating for the next generation, and so we want to get the next generation involved in the creation of it. And so I think that is an amazing, amazing statement, Jack. And I think that you definitely hit the nail on the head in terms of as we are creating, whether it be podcasts, marketing, players, courses, it is not just for us. It is for, those who are coming behind us, right? Because these are going to be the ones that are playing these courses for generations to come. And these are the ones that we have to keep involved and keep active and keep interested, right?
Yeah.
So I applaud you for that because that was a great statement and a great sentiment that I think a lot of us really are holding on to is that this isn't just for us. This Road to Par is for many others to walk on and have a good time. So
Yeah.
I thank you
Absolutely.
for that. And listen, like I said, I appreciate all your time today. I'm sure you were working earlier today. And so I know how it is. You get off work and then heading on. So we are very thankful that you could join us today.
You get up early, go to, and then
Start
finish
all
work,
over
go
again.
to class, and then come back home and and then wake up early and do it all again tomorrow.
There you go. Well, listen,
The
at least we'll
grind.
have a little fun in between and hit some good shots with the bad shots,
Yeah.
right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, listen, Jack, please stay in contact with us. We want to hear more about everything you got going on. And we look forward to hearing about the completion of the PGM program and all the great things you'll be doing thereafter. Okay.
Yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch whenever I get a new location. I'll shoot you a message. That way, you're up to date on how the progression's going. Whether I'm actually able to get that Arthur Hills place. I thought it was pretty neat the fact that Arthur Hills designed the course that I'm working at, and that's kind of the way that I design courses is a lot like Arthur Hills, except I put my tee boxes and greens close together. But but shared fairways, a lot of bunkers, water, things like that, make it challenging but fun. And that's definitely a place that I would like to at least do an internship at and learn a lot. So if that goes through, I definitely would like to come back and share the experience with that too.
Well, we can't wait. We can't wait. Thank you so much. And we're going to talk more, and we'll see you soon. We'll have to bring a group up to PLantation, wherever you are next time, and come hang out with you. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Jack. Thank you again. And I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. All right. Have a good one.
You too now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, folks, so we just had Jack on, and Jack is awesome. That was an amazing time. Not too often do we get to talk to architects, but I did want to also know, and I know you guys heard a little extra noise in the background, we are actually off-site today. One of our new partners, I don't know if you guys are familiar here in DC, Mortons Steakhouse. I'll be making some big news about that, and thank you all for joining in, and we look forward to seeing everyone soon. Welcome to Road2Par.
Well, thank you for joining us for another wonderful show of Road2Par the podcast. We just wanted to remind you that views, thoughts, and opinions expressed on Road2Par the podcast are that of the host and Road2Par LLC. All of our guests, callers, advertisers are independently of their own. So thank you again for joining us, and look forward to having you join us on our Road to Par.